music like right now? How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Conti and Nick. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. The first time they go offense, they take Jordan Love? They take Jordan Love!
Listen, Matisse Thybulle will lock up
Matisse
CP3.
Oh my god.
Chris Paul.
Oh my god.
Chris Paul, baby. Right, Will?
Nope, I totally disagree. Look. Welcome back to Conti and Nick, episode 65.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
I'd like an iced cafefe, please.
A what?
Thank you.
An ice what?
Excuse me. I'd like an iced cafefe, please.
Cafefe.
Thank you very much, darling. Thank you.
Conti and Nick, number 65. I'm Will Nicholson, as always. I have with me Gino Conti.
Well, 65 was my age a very, very long time ago.
Very...
A lot of people know it.
When I mean very, very long, I mean very, very long.
A lot of people are saying it. A lot of people aren't alive from then.
A lot of people are thinking it.
A lot of people have since left us and since have departed us. It's a very, very sad thing. Very, very sad.
I love it. Gino,
quite frankly, it's a horrible thing.
It's a terrible thing. Gino, if you haven't seen yet, the thumbnail for this is just my face, by the way.
Oh, beautiful.
Right? It's my face pretty much just going.
It's a good way to scare all the viewers away.
I know, right? We can say whatever we want now. No one's here.
Mine is too. Don't worry about it. Mine is too.
I remember when we first released the new logo.
To make fun of others, you first have to make fun of yourself.
Exactly. When we made the new logo, Brady was like, "Oh, it's great," you know. Besides the fact that it has both of your faces on it, but like, yeah, it looks sick. Like, thanks, Brady.
That's awesome.
Appreciate that.
My dad just came here and wreaked havoc. Oh, here we go. Look at this.
Oh no.
There you go.
We're scrambling. Yeah. There we go.
I opened it, and he just immediately took the thing that my phone was standing on and it fell. It's fine.
Is this the first Mr. Conti feature?
I guess so. Yeah, we're doing this.
I guess it is.
Yeah. Do you want to be on? Thanks. He goes, no thanks.
Always appreciate seeing Mr. Conti, talking to him. Great dude. If you haven't met Mr. Conti, I'm sorry for you.
I mean, and you actually got to speak to him like in person last week too.
I know, it was great.
First of all, before we even we don't really even have any set topics, man. Like this is just like a barbershop talk.
Just going with it.
But I mean, we did say we were going to talk about it, man. So tell me, Will, why do you think, and why do the people think that your roster is superior to mine for fantasy?
All right. First of all, I'm pulling up my roster. Right, that's number one. The thing with my roster is that I have depth and I have ready to win now. That's the thing. So if you look at my team, you know, we'll run over it real quick. Austin Eckler, David Montgomery, Deebo Samuel, Darren Waller. I mean, I'm just strong at overall every position. I got Robert Woods at my flex. The bench, we still got Allen Robinson, Garrett Wilson. I still have Damian Harris there. Gus Edwards. You know, when he comes back, I think he'll be productive. So I think I'm just strong at every single level. They told me I had an A when I drafted, so...
Yeah, somehow I'm a C, which means I had an average draft, but at the same time, I'm going to be last place and go 1-13.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Those NFL.com projections are a complete and utter joke.
They were pretty accurate last year, though, for the most... Well, not for me, but they were pretty accurate pretty much for the whole thing.
Well, the thing is, like, they don't predict injuries.
Yeah.
You know, so many guys get injured, then they have to make last-second calls and last-second decisions, and then all of a sudden, the team that was projected to be in first has, you know, like, Mass General as their team.
Yeah. To be fair, D'Lo had a team that had Christian McCaffrey. No, last year. And he had Christian McCaffrey and Jonathan Taylor, and they said his team is going to be really, really good. Christian McCaffrey got hurt. His team was still really, really good. I think he lost like 1 or 2 weeks.
Last year, Brady had Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, was it Brady?
Yeah,
okay.
Brady had McCaffrey,
All right.
and D'Lo took Christian McCaffrey 2 years ago.
Okay.
With the number one pick, and then Brady, being the Brady Nicholson he is, fell for it and took him again with the number one overall.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This guy. To be fair, there was really no good number one pick last year. Like that lasted the whole year.
No, I know. Jonathan Taylor was it, and in terms of the rankings, he was the 7th running back.
Yeah.
So a lot of people got like the best running back in the league, like mid to late first round.
Yeah, and Cooper Kupp, you got the league winner in the 5th, like.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So maybe even second round, like especially if it was a PPR league and a lot of guys, kind of prioritize wide receivers. So let me kind of go over my team for a minute. So you're going to look at the quarterback position. Let me tell you something. The history of me winning fantasy football have been teams where I do not prioritize the quarterback position. In real life, I'm a huge fan of Davis Mills. I believe he's going to make that second jump. And yeah, he was the 29th ranked quarterback. I don't care. 2 years ago, I won with Ben Roethlisberger and Daniel Jones, my man. I won with Ben Roethlisberger and Daniel Jones.
True.
I mean, come on. I mean, realistically, if that answer right there should go to show you, I don't really need anything, if anything, other than at least something average at the quarterback position. I mean, Then you look at it. I got Javonte Williams. Do you have my team right now?
I do. I got it pulled up. So you got Saquon, you got Javonte.
I got Javonte Williams, who's going to be a top 5 running back.
Yep.
I have Saquon, who, yes, I understand what his injury history is, and Will does too. but I got him in the 3rd round. Like, you're telling me that Saquon Barkley in the 3rd round is a reach?
No, it's a good pick there. I wasn't gonna do it. Thank God.
I know
for those who don't know, Gino was the pick right before me too. So I will say the name of my team was Gritty Season because I was so sure that I was gonna get Justin Jefferson. I thought the first 4 picks were going to be running backs, and then like Cooper Kupp was gonna go, and I was like, oh, like I'm gonna get Justin Jefferson. Didn't happen. Very upsetting.
Let me tell you, if Cooper Kupp, because I had the 5th pick, Will had the 6th. If all 4 running backs went, and I had Cooper Kupp and Justin Jefferson available to me, I was still taking Justin Jefferson.
I know. No, I knew it too. I was really he could be the league winner. I wouldn't be surprised. He's gonna go crazy, I think.
Especially in PPR. I go, dude. Think about it, what he was able to produce in a defensive oriented team with, like not a lot of emphasis on offense, and him being, with Adam Thielen, who's injury prone, people knowing he's gonna be the number 1 target. Dude, like he's insane.
He's gonna go wild. Insane. You know who I think is going to go crazy this year, by the way? I think Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to go nuclear.
I like that pick for you.
Yeah.
I like that pick.
It was a solid pick.
The only thing about Amon-Ra St. Brown...
The quarterback.
No. It's not even the quarterback, dude. I mean, you think about it, it sounds weird, but the Lions have a decent amount of weapons, man.
They do, yeah.
Like, the Lions have a decent amount of weapons. And, like, obviously, I don't think he's going to get lost in the shuffle because they're not that loaded yet. But think about it. The Lions did trade up 20 picks to get Jameson Williams. So there's no way he's not going to be a featured role in the offense when he comes back.
For sure, yeah. But Amon-Ra St. Brown is just, dude's an animal. Did you watch any Hard Knocks at all?
I didn't, but I saw the thing where he listed the 13 receivers and where they went to college. Yeah.
That's insane. And he in general, like, I'm sure every NFL player is a hard worker, and it's a very Hard Knocks thing to be like, oh, I saw him on Hard Knocks, but he was for sure like one of my favorite kind of players to follow during Hard Knocks.
So kind of to summarize my team, I got Cole Kmet. I'm sorry, my receivers are Justin Jefferson and Jerry Jeudy.
Yes.
Jerry Jeudy to me, Cortland Sutton got hurt. So, boom, that's more responsibility on Jerry Jeudy. And now he has an elite quarterback throwing him the football. Cole Kmet at the tight end position, to me, like, who else was Justin Fields going to throw the ball to?
Yeah.
As inept as that Chicago Bears team is probably going to be, who's going to be the number 1 target, realistically?
He looked good in preseason, too. He looked great. Yeah.
I'm thinking it's going to be the tight end. I'm thinking it's going to be, like the guy just like security blanket. The tight end is a young quarterback's best friend. And I really don't mean to sound like all rhyming and corny like that, but it's true.
That is the truth.
Look, I got Tony Pollard I got so much depth. I'm sorry. Do you mind reading off my team? I'm sorry. I
I got you.
I think I got Kadarius Toney.
You do, yep. You got Elijah Moore, Nico Collins.
Nico Collins. Well, that was a personal pick. But so who? Oh, and then I got Breece Hall, the number 1 rookie running back. I got him in like the 5th round.
Yeah, no, that was crazy.
I got the number 1 rookie running back in the 5th round.
And D'Lo was pissed.
Yes,
D'Lo was not happy.
Yeah, if he doesn't work out, I have Tony Pollard, who essentially is a wide receiver. Yeah. Right? So he's going to get lots of catches. And then I got Kadarius Toney, which is a low-risk, high-reward pick. Elijah Moore is the big play guy, and he really came along towards the end of the year. And then I got Melvin Gordon, who is the security blanket, an insurance guy if Javonte Williams gets hurt. Like, to me, I got all my bases covered.
I like it.
I like that. That's what I'm thinking. I go, listen, yeah, you could go for like this guy, but when you look at a team, and I got Jacoby Myers, who's gonna catch like 5 passes a game as it is.
Yep.
He's gonna get like 5 catches for 60 yards every time. So he's gonna get
10-point per game guy.
I got the reliable one with Myers. First of all, I got the best one with Justin Jefferson. I got a high upside one with Jerry Jeudy. I got what's it called? I got the safe one with Myers. I got the low risk, high reward guy in Kadarius Toney, and I got the big play guy. That's literally all 5 bases, and I got them covered.
I like it. So when we go to my team, first of all, before I kind of do my whole summary, I gotta say, did you see my waiver wire pickup yesterday?
That guy from the Chiefs, Panchero or whatever?
Isaiah Pacheco, Pacheco. Yeah. And I'm not kidding, he was a 7th round pick. He's gonna be the Clyde Edwards-Helaire replacement.
He may.
Dude, Pat Mahomes loves him, apparently. I don't know. That'd be awesome.
I've never understood, maybe the waiver wire pickup and that you made, it may end up being better for your team. But, I don't understand how it's well, what if the guy I drafted suck? I go, draft people who you know won't suck.
You drafted the team. That was John's whole thing.
Exactly. You drafted the team. It's how do you make judgments on what's going to improve your team when you don't even know how your team's going to perform, so therefore you don't know how you can improve it?
Yeah. I got to ask. So I drafted Austin Eckler, and I drafted him at 6, which, by the way you look at drafts, is very good to get Austin Eckler. He was going as
running back.
Yeah, he was the 3rd running back. People were reaching for him at 2. I saw in a lot of leagues. So I got to know, what does everyone have against Austin Eckler? Everyone kind of looked at me sideways when I took him. They don't think he's going to get the same production.
I didn't think it was a bad pick.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was a bad pick.
I didn't think it was either, but I think it was Joe Goff, I think, who I took him, and he was like, oh, that's a mistake. I was like, what? He's in a better offense. He's got Justin Herbert.
Well, first of all, he's not the better offense because that offense didn't improve. The offense didn't improve.
They kept everyone together. That's an improvement to him.
No, all right, whatever. But well, the thing is with Austin Eckler, he has had some years where he's had trouble staying on the field. So sure. I mean, maybe, and again, I'm not arguing against it, but I'm saying that's probably people's reasoning. Sure. With such a high usage guy like Austin Eckler is, he's not really the biggest guy in the world. So in the past, not that last year, he has had a little bit of durability concerns, so I can see that maybe hurting your team. But
I think that they're in such more of a pass-heavy offense now with Herbert, where they like to throw the ball a lot. They go for it on 4th down. Herbert throws the ball 40 times a game. So that's high upside.
For you, that was a worthy 6th overall pick.
I think so. So I got Austin Eckler. I have Matthew Stafford.
I hope you're watching this, Joe. Don't worry about what Joe Goff says.
Yeah, I hope you're watching, Joe. But anyway, I got Eckler. I got Stafford. He was one of my later round picks. I got David Montgomery, who I think is a guy who's going to be really, really good. He was up there in the league with touches last year, and I feel like it's going to be exactly the same. Chicago doesn't really have any offense besides him, Justin Fields, Darnell Mooney, and I'll throw Cole Kmet in there for Chino. And then I got Deebo Samuel, who you know what that guy's going to do. He's just going to run the ball. He's going to get receptions. And he got paid now, Gino. Yeah. Woo! He got paid. And then we got Amon-Ra St. Brown. Darren Waller in a Josh McDaniels offense, I think, is going to be, very, very good. He took a step down last year from what he did 2 years ago. I still think he's going to be really good. I got Robert Woods. I got Damian Harris. Pacheco, which I already mentioned. I got Russell Gage, who I think is a sleeper pick. Yeah.
I like Russell Gage.
I really like Russell Gage for now. I got Allen Robinson.
That's one guy you kind of took from me. I can't lie to you.
Yeah. A-Rob, Garrett Wilson, and Gus Edwards is on my PUP right now. So
I don't mind. Yeah, Garrett Wilson's a high upside pick as well.
Yeah. Who knows? He could be like one of those guys who maybe wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, he's going to get the ball.
I mean, and especially with this draft class being non-quarterback heavy and a lot of skill position and a lot of defensive heavy. No. So for him to be able to win that award would be impressive.
It could be a running back too. Like the Offensive Rookie of the Year is so wide open. Because none of the rookies are going to start. What rookie quarterback is going to start? I don't think any of them. Literally none of them.
Mitch is starting in Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kenny Pickett's not going to start.
Yeah. Desmond Ritter's not going to start. No. Mariota is.
Yep.
Corral isn't starting.
Malik Willis. Yeah.
So realistically,
yeah, I mean it could happen. I wanna talk to you about this really quick. So,
go ahead.
And me and Gino, like we said, we didn't come prepared with topics, so everything's kind of up in the open. I haven't talked to you about this yet, off air, on air, but I want to know, what is your thoughts on Jimmy G signing that 1 year in San Francisco to kind of stay there?
I really don't think about it from. I really don't think about this, or I haven't thought about it from Jimmy G's perspective, really. But realistically, the way I look at it, if I was San Francisco, and I really and truly had my full bearings behind Trey Lance, I'd make no secret about it, and I would have tried to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo yesterday. That way, there would be no controversy whatsoever, And obviously, Trey Lance is going to be the man behind center now, and he is going to be the quarterback. But I mean, realistically, like I said, if there was no doubt about it, you would get rid of that. You would get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah,
you would get. And I'm not trying to say, oh, maybe Jimmy G's going to start week 1. He's not. I know he's not. But this is kind of them, in my opinion. This is kind of what San Francisco is saying. They're like, hey, we believe in Trey, but if Trey doesn't do well, then we still have this guy who can take us to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, for sure. Where I thought Jimmy G was going to end up? I thought he was going to be a Jet. Because if you're the Jets, I mean, what's the point in losing games right now? I don't really see it. You have a team that you want to get better, you want to win games. Zach Wilson's out for an injury. I forget how long it is, but I know it's a decent amount of time. So, I mean, why not go get Jimmy G? You have the cap space to do it. Might as well.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is just you don't want to be paying $24 million to a quarterback who's just going to be on your bench.
But he would start for them for sure. Zach Wilson's hurt right now.
Well, but I don't think he's going to be out that long, Yeah. And Joe Flacco is a capable backup, a veteran, a Super Bowl champion who knows the offense and knows how to command an offense. So, I mean, honestly, when you're paying so cheap for Joe Flacco, a guy who is capable of, I don't think he's capable of bringing it
One sec. So I was going to Google Zach Wilson's injury. I want you to know what the top searches were when I just typed in Zach Wilson. Let me
take a wild guess.
Okay, go.
Can I say it without getting in trouble?
No, I'll do it. So it was, the top one is Zach Wilson preseason stats, then Zach Wilson stats, and then the third one is Zach Wilson mom.
Yep.
And then we go to injury updates. Of course. It's not saying, but I'll find it.
But realistically, again, Joe Flacco, he's been there. He's had two different stints with the Jets now. So he has a good understanding. And, just him being the veteran he is, he's somebody who is able to step in to run a pro-style offense day one. And he's somebody who's capable of just holding down the fort. So there's really no need to get Jimmy Garoppolo. There's really no need for it. Especially when you're...
By the way, week 4 is the latest, so I thought it was going to be longer, so...
week 4 latest, Joe Flacco can hold the fort down for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
No way. So, realistically, I thought that if Jimmy G was going to go somewhere, I know you don't really usually trade to a division rival, but I would say Seattle. I would think it's Seattle, but Pete Carroll wants Geno Smith because again, it's another case of them knowing the offense and somebody who's capable of just at least holding the team afloat for a little bit until someone comes back. But obviously, in Seattle's case, they don't have a until someone comes back. They just have Geno Smith and Drew Lock. So and I really don't like saying this, but just what a bad look for Drew Lock. As much as Geno Smith knows the system, what a bad look that he wasn't able to beat out a consensus bust in a weak quarterback draft class.
Yeah, no, that was tough for sure.
I really don't like labeling people busts because you look at it and it's like the NFL has so many good people. Like, we don't understand a guy who shows up to a training camp for one day and gets cut is going to be the best player on any high school team by far.
Yeah.
So I don't like calling people busts, but I really don't know where Drew Lock goes from here. I don't know if you feel the same way, Will.
I mean, well, like, what does he do?
I mean, because realistically, in terms of teams that need a quarterback, it sounds weird to say it, but the list isn't very big.
No, it's not.
But Seattle's one of them, and he really wasn't able to beat just like a very average veteran.
Yeah. No, I don't. Like, I genuinely don't know what Drew Lock is supposed to do. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. It's just I feel I don't feel bad because obviously it was his own incompetence, but It's like, just man, like, you gotta in a way kind of feel for him because it's like, man, guy was so highly touted and was considered the first round pick or a potential first round pick a few years back, and now he's losing a quarterback battle to Geno Smith.
Yeah, no, people thought he could be the guy in Denver. They really did.
Yeah,
the real thing. They thought he could be the guy.
Dude, then can we just talk about like how bad just John Elway's eye and evaluation for quarterbacks are?
So bad. They just go for the tall white guy. That's their whole quarterback scouting. It's like Brock Osweiler. Oh my god, like Kyle Orton, or it's just awful.
Remember the cover of Sports Illustrated with Paxton Lynch on it? Like, oh, the future is here.
Yeah. Brock Osweiler, that's another one. Just
Brock Osweiler coming back to Denver after he went to like Cleveland. Then he went to Houston, then Cleveland, then Miami, and then back to Denver. It's like, man, what do you even do at that point? It's just like Brock Osweiler was a guy who had like a fantastic like second half of a year. And just got benched to like a venged fossil, Peyton Manning, in the Super Bowl, who didn't do anything himself. And then Brock Osweiler just gets paid $88 million, which at the time a lot of money. And it's just like, man, like I don't know, man. Like I'm just thinking, I'm like reminiscing on all like the bad quarterbacks.
There's been some real bad ones. Drew Lock's gonna be up there too. He's gonna be one of the guys who are like, how is this guy like? How did he keep a job for so long?
It goes to show you, because I'm sure you've heard the thing where it's like a lot of players who end up being like great players, like all-time great Hall of Famers, how a lot of the times they're not able to be good coaches because they have the talent and they just do rather than just study. But a lot of the times how it's like the less than players, I hate to use that term, but the not as good players who actually end up being the really good coaches. But in this case, it's like John Elway, he's not a coach, and he still can't evaluate.
He still can't do it.
Like his job is literally to evaluate the position he was an all-time great at. Not even coach it, just to look at it.
Just tell us who's gonna be good, and he hasn't done it.
I know. It's like, oh man.
He goes,
and then what did they do? They ended up, by the grace of God, they got lucky signing Peyton Manning because he had 1 foot in Arizona. It was gonna be him and Larry Fitz, which I would have loved, and they would have won the Super Bowl. And then by the grace of God, they got him there. And then you got no backup plan. You had no backup plan. Brock Osweiler signed elsewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, like, come on. Like,
I'll eventually for Elway to go, who I think is really good? Russell Wilson. Might be controversial, but I think if you get Russell Wilson in the building.
And that's what I was getting at. It's like, man, you didn't have to evaluate the fact that Russell Wilson was good. Like, ooh, this guy Russell Wilson, like former Super Bowl champion, I think he has a lot of potential in his early 30s. I think we should take a stab at it.
Take a stab at it. I think he might be able to throw the ball to Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy. I don't know. I think it'll work out.
I know, and just like really and truly, it's just I know that he's elite, but there's something with that kid. Something about him.
Something about him. I see the twinkle in his eye.
Excuse me, sorry.
It's all good.
But it's just, man, I hate to sound like that, but in a way, man, just you gotta be a different level of bad to be an all-time great and not even have to coach.
You can't evaluate your own position.
Like, dude, I understand he's a legend on the field, but just get this man out of office.
Yeah.
Like, don't even
sure.
I understand he's not like the GM or like the president of operations anymore. And I think now he's just like a senior advisor. Don't let him advise anything. Don't let him evaluate. Don't let him advise. Like, they essentially made him what Jerry West is. Like, he's your advisor.
But Jerry West was amazing at his job.
Don't you dare put John Elway in the football equivalent or the basketball equivalent to Jerry West.
Yeah.
Don't you dare. Get that man away from the organization. Boom. Make him a statue in front of the stadium. And be like, boom, good. All right, we've seen enough of John Elway. John Elway, actually,
get out of here.
Stay home. Stay home. Look, see the trophy? See how good he was? Boom, there you go.
I love Jerry. I love Jerry West now, especially because he is like such like an ass, but like what are you gonna say to him? Like, he's Jerry West. Like, he's the NBA logo. Did you see they did another one of those all-time draft things?
They did it a while ago, right?
Yes.
And Jerry West was one of the things, right?
He was. So I watched it. It was actually really good because Dominique Wilkins was one of the GMs, I guess.
If I'm not wrong, they had a couple of teams that had 3 drafters, right?
Yes, there was a couple. So Dominique took himself number 1 overall. So immediately everything is thrown out of the window. It was just wild. But it was good.
Want to know what actually made me mad though?
What?
Like Quavo, I believe, was on.
Wait, Quavo was hilarious though. He was.
But Quavo towards the end, like, you didn't know who any of the 50s guys.
Yeah.
Like,
He had no idea.
It's like, dude, like, how are you elected to be on this panel? Like, I want you to know 75 names, and like, say you know about 50 of them. Literally, just learn 25 guys.
Yeah.
And he was just like, bro. And I hate to sound like this old, like, serious guy, but like, low key, it's just like, yeah, I'll take Paula's and I'll take Bridger, I guess. Like, you can't tell me you just can't learn the names, bro. Like realistically, like, what else are you doing sitting in like your multi-billion-dollar mansion because they stir fry like a couple of times? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. I love seeing Quavo though, purely because his whole like strategy was, I'm gonna draft the swaggiest team possible, and that's exactly what he did. He got like Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
You just got everyone. Penny.
I will say though, the best one out of the 2 has to be the first one in terms of like the all-time draft.
Oh yeah. Well, I will say this one competes because did you see what Jerry West? There was a team. It had a WNBA player. It had Shams, I think, something like that, and it was one other guy who was like an analyst or something, and he was like the only guy who wasn't like actually NBA affiliated, whether it be from like one of the people on Twitter who like breaks news, or like a player, or like a former player, something like that. He was the only one who wasn't like NBA affiliated, and Jerry West was frying him the entire time. Like he was like, this guy doesn't know how to pick anything. How does this guy I'm not kidding. The entire time, whenever Jerry West could like diminish this poor guy, he would do it. It was what is he gonna say? It's Jerry West. Like, what? How do you come back from that? You don't.
As you should.
Yes. But it's Jerry. He's like 80 years old. Like, he doesn't care. He doesn't give a shit. He's Jerry West. He's beat ass.
Jerry West is at the point where he has the luxury of being able to say whatever he wants.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
And nobody can question him.
Yeah, but it was so, like, this guy was like, I think we're gonna go with Dwayne Wade, and he's like, why are you speaking for them? Like, let them make the pick. You don't know anything about the game. The poor guy was just there, like, to have fun, and Jerry West was like, how dare you?
Yeah. I will say the one thing that I am looking forward to when I get old is to be able to have that luxury.
Oh, yeah.
To literally say whatever I want.
Yeah.
And to have the luxury of being able to say, even if I'm wrong, I'm right.
It was Adam LaFoque. Hold on, I'm pulling this up on the stream because
no idea what that is.
This has to be seen. This was like the funniest thing that I saw when I was watching this. Hold on, I'm just gonna capture the whole. We're watching this compilation. This is hilarious.
I think this is unfair. We got three brilliant people from all walks of life here. One who represents the ladies' field, Dwayne, who was one of the great players we've ever seen, and this other gentleman over here. You look like, unfortunately, you look like you're conducting this draft. Let Dan do it.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thanks, Jerry.
You really did, and not because of you, because of this young man, this young lady over here.
Thanks, Jerry. Appreciate you, pal.
You're choosing Jerry West right here.
No, they did it all.
Gino, I'm sorry you couldn't hear that, but it was so good. Like, all of it was so good. It was a WNBA player, Dwayne Wade, and then one other guy, and he goes to shake Jerry West's hand at the end of it, and Jerry West just like just walks away. It's so good.
Now I have a question for you, right?
Yeah.
Say if you were on one of those things on TV, right?
Yeah.
Like on one of those all-time drafts with like Shaq and Chuck and Jerry West, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You had the number one overall pick, right? What route would you take? Would you take the route of Dominique, who's like, I'm taking myself? Or would you be like, yeah, just give me Michael Jordan?
Yeah, just give me Michael Jordan. I don't know.
Really?
Like, if I could come up, like, what would be funny? Because, like, Quavo's was funny. Like, oh yeah, like, let me get a swaggy team, but...
No, but like, like I said, you have the option of doing something funny, you know, just to like mess it up and throw the whole thing off.
Yeah.
Or you could make it like serious and you could just be like, no, like, give me Michael Jordan.
See, I think that I would do Michael Jordan unless I could think of like something to that caliber where it can be funny. Because, you know, maybe I would do something funny, and this is a little like hypocritical, because I hate being in fantasy leagues with people who like throw drafts. Like, I don't care like what league, what's on the line. It's so frustrating. You know what I mean?
There's a difference, because obviously if there's a fantasy draft, you're gonna have to do that team for the whole season. Obviously, in a thing like NBA, like the 75.
No, that's what I'm saying. See, that would be fun to do. But like, there was someone, I'm not gonna name names, and it wasn't in our league, but there was someone in a league that I drafted over the weekend where they only drafted like New England Patriots players, and it was like it didn't even make sense. So they took like Nick Folk in like the third round or something. Like, so, and I'm like, come on.
Were they doing it on purpose, or
yes?
Was it?
Oh yeah, no, on purpose. Their first.
So they like, because I was gonna say, like, there genuinely are people who are like, no, I think that because Nick Folk's such a great kicker, why aren't you guys taking him? Like, who don't know fantasy, and I'm not making fun of them. It's just
he's for sure done. I know this person. They've done fantasy before. He runs one of my other leagues. So like,
So he's just being a jerk.
It was like out of his fight, and his first pick, he had like the 10th pick, I think. He took Mac Jones. Then he took Damian Harris, and then he took Nick Folk. So
literally his whole entire team is the Patriots.
Exactly, and then I think he has like Rashard Penny or something.
In that spot, I would have like kind of just. How many other people were in that league?
14.
Oh, so it was a 15-person league?
Or no, it was a 14-person league. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. So I would have gotten all of the 13 people and be like, "Listen, we know what this guy's gonna do. Let's all just take an L and collectively draft one Patriots player each,
just to ruin his team."
Yeah, just to ruin his team, and then see, and like he would either have a backup plan or he would take it seriously. You know?
Yeah.
And then think about it, like everybody has like one inferior player, but it's not unfair. Like I would have Damian Harris way too early, but you'd also have Mac Jones way too early, and then they'd have Bourne and Hunter Henry. Do you know what I mean?
No, you know what I still think is a good idea? I like the age draft. Did I tell you about that?
You did.
Where you can only draft in a certain age range. I think that's hilarious.
See, whoever gets like the 28 plus is screwed for running backs.
Well, for running backs, but then you gotta think they have like, relatively the good quarterbacks. So I don't know. They got like some wide receiver. It's tough.
See, something that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to do a fantasy draft, and I think I told you this. Where obviously my goal isn't to win the whole thing, but just have an all rookie team.
Yeah, no, that would be funny.
For this year, it would be kind of tough because literally no starting quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So I would probably draft a second-year guy, and then just have Kenny Pickett be my backup.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'd have Breece Hall, I'd have Kenneth Walker, I'd have like David Bell at receiver, I'd have Jeremy Ruckert at tight end, stuff like that.
Yeah. Have you ever seen people do the anti-fantasy football league?
I can't say I have.
So the whole rule is that it's like golf. You want to score the least amount of points, but there's rules for it. It's like you have to draft a player that's like top like 15 in their position. So you can't draft
So guys go undrafted.
Yeah.
So like literally you would have Christian McCaffrey going undrafted.
Pretty much. So but the goal is to score like the least amount of points. So it's like a reverse draft. So like you take like kickers first. And then deep, and then the end of the draft it's like, shit. Like, do I want to take Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, that's actually really funny.
It's like but like you have to take someone that's in like the top like 10 of their position. So you're like sleeper like Saquon Barkley, like he's gonna suck.
Yeah. So low-key, imagine the dude last year who if they got so lucky to take Christian McCaffrey early.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like low-key, that may be a spot where it's like you take a guy with injury history early.
Yeah, no, it's a part of the strategy.
Yeah, because then like you just have a guy getting you 0 points, obviously.
Yeah.
And then low-key, keep them in the starting lineup all year. So boom.
People are like taking Hopkins, they're taking Watson. Yeah. Those are your first round picks. All the injured guys and suspended guys.
Yeah. So just immediately you have guys. Dude, take like Tim Patrick, the Broncos for his ACL.
But like that's what the strategy, and it's so funny to see.
I'm kind of mad because low key, my team would have won that last year if we had done that.
J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, J.K. Dobbins. Josh Edwards, bringing like Antonio Brown.
Dude, AB must have been a sleeper for people that were like, I don't think AB is gonna play the whole year. Like something's gonna happen.
And then this year I would draft Odell Beckham #1 overall.
Yeah.
Free agent. I would pick Kenyon Drake, who just got picked up today.
Yeah.
At the time was a free agent.
No, it's so. I think people literally make lists of like these are the guys that you can draft. And like you can't take like like Marlon Mack or like someone that's not on a team. I think like they have to be somewhat of like they have to get touches. So like you're rooting like against your own team. You're like, God damn it! Like Christian McCaffrey scored.
Oh, okay. So you can't draft like Matthew Slater.
Yeah, you can't do something like that.
At receiver.
Yeah, they have to. I think I saw someone do it with like a top they have to be like a top 15 at their position for fantasy, and you can't draft like free agents and stuff like that. But like kickers go first, or like defenses go first. So they take like the Jets defense.
That's actually wicked funny.
Nah. It's all strategy.
So I know that we don't have a set topic, and it's kind of just a fluid convo.
Yeah.
But you did mention Jordan Love.
Of course I did.
And I want you to bring it up. And once you're done talking, I kind of just want to put a little bow tie over what my take this whole time has been.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, first of all, we know where I stand with Jordan Love. I didn't want this to be a Jordan Love thing. I more wanted it to be a quarterback thing, but it's going to mention Jordan Love. So, quarterbacks in the preseason. No. I told you it was a Jordan Love thing because it's going to get to that. But, I'm a pretty big quarterback guy for the most part. I think it's the most, interesting position in sports because you have to be perfect at everything. You need to be, nowadays an accurate runner. You need to be a fast runner. You need to be an accurate and, have a strong arm when it comes to throwing the ball. I always wanted to play quarterback, and I was only allowed to in flag because I was too big to play quarterback in like youth football and stuff like that. And, I back in my day, I had a little arm. No, but, I warm it up. But it is one of my favorite positions in sports, period. It's something I look at a lot because, I like to see what's going to be the next guy. And I've had people telling me about footwork, everything like that. It's something I look at a lot. So a couple of quarterbacks that I wanted to talk about. I'll start off with Malik Willis. First of all, don't get it twisted. He needs a full year to sit. In my opinion, he shouldn't see the field this year unless there's an injury. However, I saw him get better every single game. He started off just like taking off in the pocket and running, and he would get kind of like happy feet in the pocket. But as the games went on, he had, and I sent this play in the sports group chat. He had a play where he just stepped up as the pocket was collapsing. He stepped up and delivered like a 50-yard bomb to his receiver down the field. And if he can keep on improving with that, I mean, that's something for the future, especially for Tennessee, who got him so late. Desmond Ridder, I saw there was some stuff I liked with Desmond Ridder, and there's some stuff I really didn't like. He pretty much showed everything that he was drafted for. The accuracy was there on a lot of his throws, but sometimes he would let it sail, or he's not the best athlete ever, but he made some plays with his feet. So he looked okay from what I saw. Other guy, it's all good. Kyle Trask looked awful. I don't know if you saw any of Kyle Trask.
It stinks because that was a Kyle Trask film.
I know it's unfortunate, but he looked, god awful. He did not look good at all. There's not even much to say about Kyle Trask other than it looked bad. I'm trying to think. Desmond Ridder. Who were some other guys who?
Well, Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett looked amazing. There's not if Mitch didn't play good, he'd be starting. That's as simple as that.
Tyler Huntley.
Did he play?
Yeah.
And where, Baltimore?
Yeah.
I wasn't even paying attention to the Ravens games. You just know they're gonna win. Have you seen that stat?
Yeah, dude. I've seen like the last time the Ravens lost in the preseason. There was this happened, that thing. I literally think it's been like close to 5 years, right?
No, they're like 24-0 or something. It's insane.
Well, all I'm gonna
it's
say,
like preseason games.
Tyler Huntley deserves to be a starting quarterback. That's all I'm gonna say.
Where though? It doesn't matter wherever he ends up.
Okay. And I know we said this about Lamar a couple weeks ago. Obviously, I think Lamar is going to get extended.
Yeah.
But if Tyler Huntley is a free agent and Baltimore doesn't retain him, Tyler Huntley has shown to me that he deserves to be a starter and he should go to Tampa Bay.
Could be possible. Who knows? Who knows especially the way the league's going now we don't know who's going wherever, so I don't know.
Tell me about it, Will.
All right,
and you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so Jordan Love, all right? I watch these games intensely for obvious reasons, and also because
you had the monocle.
Exactly. It's a pride thing now. I just want to be right.
He put the monocle over his glasses.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he had his glasses on, and then he has the monocle here in this hand, and then the other hand he's got a magnifying glass.
Gino, I got to tell you the full truth here. Truthfully, to my core, I don't hate Jordan Love. Okay, to my core, I really don't hate him, and and I don't think that he was like the worst draft pick ever. Truthfully, I don't think that. It's funny to say that, but I that being said, I don't think he's a good quarterback. Okay, do I hate Jordan Love like to the core? No. At this point, I just want to be right because it was funny on social media. But you're like, I don't believe that. I don't believe you.
No one believes. No one
will believe it. It's fine.
You're like a politician, Will. Stop trying to backtrack.
Just keep backtracking. No, like, and Gino sent me a video. It's like, oh, what guys would you take? Would you take Jordan Love over these guys? And I sent back, and there was a lot of guys who I was like, yeah, like I would take Jordan Love over them. But that being said, he was a first-round pick, so there's a lot of expectations there. The first game that Jordan Love played in the preseason was horrendous. He had 3 picks. He was inaccurate. He had a couple of good balls for touchdowns. The second preseason game was way better, like extremely better. You finally saw it was the best I've ever seen him play. I forget who it was. Was it against the Giants? I don't even remember. But he played really, really good. Overall, he didn't have a great preseason though. It was a lot of like flashes still, which I feel like we're what 3 years into Jordan Love's career now. I feel like I need to see. He's a project for sure, but I need to be seeing more than just flashes. You know what I mean?
I got you. The thing is, just listen. And the thing is, like, obviously being a 2-man show, you having such a strong take about Jordan Love, I'm not saying that people do assume it, but naturally kind of just like the law of the jungle kind of makes it to look like I feel different from you.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know how many times I said it, and I know that you don't. I know you're not confused by this. I don't like Jordan Love.
it's just the fact that I dislike him so much that you have to go to the opposite side and be like, well, wait a minute.
The thing is, I don't even particularly know if he's going to be that good. The thing is, it's just, I don't know. I don't hate him. And everyone looks at me and they're like, well, why do you think he's going to be good? Well, I go, I don't.
It was Dom specifically. He threw us in a group chat on the first preseason game that Jordan Love played, where it was just like awful ball after awful ball with like interception. And Dom was like, Will was right the whole time. And Gino was like, I never said he was going to be good.
And then Dom texted me personally. I go, dude, I don't even love him. I go, Will just hates him. And like I'm telling you, like the only time that I've ever come to the defense of Jordan Love was because you didn't ever give him a chance. You didn't even give him a chance.
That's fair. I just and I'll stand by this. I genuinely don't understand why he was drafted in the first round. It doesn't make sense. And that's the thing. If Jordan Love was like a third, fourth round guy, which is like where I thought he was going to be, or he should have been, this wouldn't be a thing. But it's the fact that he was taken like 20, like third or something, 29. Sorry, the fact that he was the fact that he was taken at that range, and like what he showed us, I'm like, this guy wasn't good in college. He genuinely was not good in college. Like he had more interceptions than touchdowns for like a year.
Realistically, let me ask you a question, all right?
Okay.
So, you and I have talked about, and we've been in agreement, that when you get in the draft about the 25 range, that's kind of when guys who potentially could be early second rounders become late first rounders.
Sure.
What if Jordan Love was taken, pick, like 25 to 40 is around the range where guys who could be first rounders become second rounders, guys who could be second rounders become first. You know what I mean? At that point in time, it's a time of personal preference for teams.
Sure. But like, and I understand that. And would I have a problem if he went to like if he went to somewhere else, No, probably not. But it's the fact that he went to the Packers and Aaron Rodgers was so like in the news, like, hey, like I want some help on offense. Like, let's get some done here. And the Packers just kind of give him like the middle finger and go, nope, Jordan Love, who like what, and again wasn't even good in college.
How does he need help on offense when?
No, and we've done all this, right? And I understand we've done all this. So what Aaron Rodgers said could be debated, sure, absolutely. But it's the fact that they didn't need Jordan Love, and even if Aaron Rodgers said he's on his way out, it's Jordan Love. Like, he was so bad in college.
I don't really want to get into this, but it's like, as an organization, Will, and this is the last time I'm really ever going to argue this, man, but it's just like, how is it that you view a quarterback who had an un-Aaron Rodgers-like season going into his late 30s, you're not wrong as a franchise for admitting or thinking initially that that's the start of a decline.
No, sure, sure, and that's fine, right? That's absolutely fine. He still won an MVP, by the way, so or he won an MVP the next year, so I don't know, but
but the year before that, Will,
yeah,
but the year before that, he didn't play like an MVP caliber player. He played like a Pro Bowler, and that when you're that high level of a quarterback, you go from an MVP to a Pro Bowler. You go to a Pro Bowler to a starter. You go to a starter to a serviceable. Like that's kind of like the progression. You don't just go. You take small regressions.
Sure, and I understand that, but the answer should not have been Jordan Love.
but that's who. And listen, regardless of if they're right or wrong, they did the right thing as a franchise by not only thinking that since they evaluating that their current quarterback was perceived to be on a downhill turn a little bit, but not only did they kind of just make sure that their future was insured, or at least that they thought their future was insured, they took their guy.
Yeah.
Like at the same, and listen, and please, God forgive me, but in 2017, I believe it was, or whatever year it was, when Daniel Jones and Dwayne Haskins were the two quarterbacks, we reamed the Giants for taking Daniel Jones, right?
Yeah.
And like I said, please God forgive me, because everyone was like, Dwayne Haskins is the far and away best guy. Ended up not being the case.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones was like again, please God forgive me, but Daniel Jones was a better quarterback than Dwayne Haskins. They took their guy and they stuck to their guns.
Yeah, sure, but it's just I can't get over that this guy just wasn't good in college. Like that's my thing. He went to Utah State and he didn't play well. I'll give him this. His sophomore year, oddly, he played good. He's always been a big interception guy, which, I think shows. His freshman year, he had 8 touchdowns, 6 picks. And then his sophomore year, which is probably half the reason he got drafted, he played 13 games. He had 32 touchdowns and he had 6 picks. It's like, all right, cool. Build off that. His next year, he has 20 touchdowns and 17 picks.
Well, you bank off of a guy who has such a low interception rate like Aaron Rodgers to be able to mentor that out of him. Like Drew Brees.
But if you look at the film,
Jameis Winston, it's not impossible.
I know, but the way you look at how Jordan Love plays, he's one of the most 50-50 quarterbacks I've ever seen. It's either a touchdown or it's a pick, and that's so frequent.
But we have physical evidence that Drew Brees helped out Jameis Winston tremendously, so it's possible.
Yeah, but Jameis was good in college.
Huh?
Jameis was good in college.
But regardless of the fact of how he was good in college, in the NFL, and I understand that Jordan Love didn't really have a full chance in the NFL, like in regular season. But regardless, the principle is still the same. Guys with high turnover ratios, then going to be mentored by guys with low turnover ratios. Then boom, and I'm not saying that's what's going to happen with Jordan Love, but maybe if at all he has a starting job, whether it be in Green Bay or elsewhere, he's been under the tutelage of Aaron Rodgers. So when if he fully
but do we think Aaron Rodgers is actually helping Jordan Love?
It doesn't matter if Aaron Rodgers. The thing is, if Aaron Rodgers is even if isn't even if he's not even acknowledging Jordan Love, and he's just not even he's ignoring him and like get away from me, kid.
That's something that I can see him doing for sure.
Jordan Love's there, still watching him.
Yeah,
like they're still at practice together. They're still in the quarterback drills together. They're still they're still able to learn through each other through observation.
Yeah.
Like there's no like a lot of the coaches at varsity don't pull me aside and say, "Hey, Gino, this is how you coach." I observe them and I pick up their traits that way.
For sure.
Like you learn to people who lead by example. It's not. I mean, especially a professional like Jordan Love, you learn and you watch and you learn, even if they're not.
I don't think he's talented enough. I'm sorry. I don't think that he's ever going to be on the superhuman level that people try and put him on. Because I've said this before. He plays a lot like Patrick Mahomes when I watch. It's a lot of like scrambling around the pocket and trying to make these sidearm throws, but I don't think he's good enough to do that. There was a play in his second preseason game, and I'm totally blanking on who they played against, but it was like he held the ball in his hands for 8 seconds. It was 8 seconds. He like scrambled behind, he scrambled up, he scrambled away, and he went all the way to the left, and he just kind of whipped it up and threw it into the back of the end zone, and it was incomplete. But like you watch that, and you're like, dude, throw it away. You know what I mean? Because it's not like it was a 4th down. It was like 2nd and goal or something.
Well,
and they were on like the 10.
If you were a quarterback and your offensive line was giving you the time, right? He threw it away right before he was about to get sacked. Correct?
You'd have to watch the play. It was a lot of just like.
If you have the time, if the offensive line gives you the time, you're not wrong by taking the extra few seconds in the pocket, scanning, and then if nothing's there, then you throw it away. You're not wrong. Like I understand that realistically the average NFL plays about 3 seconds, but if the offensive line does their job, gives you the extended time, then you're not wrong for trying to look for something.
To me, it just shows me he's not getting better, though. You know what I mean? He's not good enough to make those plays. Here, by the way, I'm pulling the play up on screen.
Dude, the defense, it doesn't matter who's the quarterback.
This is what I'm talking about, by the way. It wasn't even that the O-line did like a fantastic job. He's just like a deer in headlights. 8.6 seconds. We'll bring it back from the top there for people watching. So I'll say this: the pocket. He already looks uncomfortable at like 2.5 seconds, and then he tries to step up, realizes he can't step up because it's 3rd and goal, so he backs up. He starts rolling left. Like half of the Saints D line is chasing him at this point. We're 5 seconds in. He steps back again. He tries to point someone open. They're not going. He starts to roll back to the right. Realizes that there's a Saints defender right there. So he spins. He's like, this was almost like a 10-yard, 15, 20-yard sack. It's 7.6 now. He spins. He has 4. It's not even his O-line did a good job. All 4 of the Saints defenders are in pursuit of him right now. And he just hucks it up to like one of the pylon. And I will say, it's not an awful throw. What he made, but still, like if this was a game that wasn't in the preseason, this could easily be picked off.
Well, the end result was still him throwing it away.
Sure, but like that, dude, that could have so easily been a pick.
I honestly don't even know, to be honest with you, like what play that you're referring to, but at the same time, it's just like kind of. I can envision like the offensive line doing a good job.
They're really not.
If you say otherwise, that's fine. I could be wrong, and I probably am wrong on that one specific play. But I'm just telling you what I was thinking. It
was versus the Saints, by the way. I commented on that. It was. I think even one of the coaches goes up to him and says something. It's like, hey, like just throw that away next time, because it's like it's not even a high risk, high reward. It's just a high risk throw.
It's scrambling.
Yeah. So I don't know. Everything about it was high risk, but I don't know. So, Jordan Love, great guy, but I'll stay indifferent about him forever. I don't ever, and I hate to be a hater. I do. I really don't like to do it, but I don't see him.
Yes, you do.
I don't. I really don't, though, because this is the only player that I've ever.
I don't believe you.
This is the only player where I've ever kind of felt like this, where I'm like, why is he there?
Dude,
I don't know.
I've been on the same stance for the longest time. I think that you were being very unfair to him at the beginning.
And maybe that's true. Maybe that's a little bit true.
Like when you and I go through the draft process, right? After the draft, we have our winners and losers, right?
Yes.
We never really question, or I don't. I'm not gonna include you because I don't question the people's talents. I question the fit to that player on the team, right?
Yeah.
I question the fit. So
I question the talent with Jordan Love. And it's weird, because that's the first time I've ever done something like that, where I'm like, I just don't think he's good. I don't know what it is. I don't think that he's a good quarterback. I don't know. It's so weird, because I love the guys who make, like, the risky plays. But it's just like,
listen,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand it either.
How many times on and off air have I said to you, Will, you very well may be right, but I don't think we're giving him a fair chance.
Oh, for sure. I'm for sure not giving him a fair chance. I'll admit to that.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that he was drafted that high to that team.
I get it. Well, I think I understand it because I get it.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure.
Well, Gino, we're coming to the end here. Been going for about an hour. You know what guy is undeniable in talent, and we'd never question his fit in any system because he can just fit anywhere.
If you are unfair to Jordan Love, but this man that we're about to label, I don't think you've been anything but completely fair and honest with him.
Oh, that's true. Who's he, Gino?
I think his name is
John Bro. Oh. Peace out, everyone. Thank you.
Hey, Will. That was our best episode that we've ever done.
Nice. The intro music's still playing out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you can hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. I don't
The whole audience can hear it. It's a good time. It's Conti and Nick.
I don't care.